All right, diving in. We're tackling the story of Noah's Ark today.
Oh, a classic.
Yeah, but we're going right to the source. Genesis chapter 6, King James Version.
Looking forward to that.
I think even though most people know the story, there's always something new to uncover when you look closely at the text.
I think you're right. Like the way the story sets up the whole situation is really interesting. It's not the ark right off the bat.
No, it's not.
It's this super vivid picture of how messed up the world had become.
Yeah, you're right. It talks about wickedness and violence all over, but it doesn't just like say, oh, people are being bad, right?
Oh, no, not at all. Genesis doesn't mess around with the wording.
How so?
It says that every imagination of the thoughts of man's heart was only evil continually. Whew.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like not just actions, it's their core, their thoughts. Corrupted.
Yeah, and God's reaction too. It says he was grieved at his heart.
Yeah.
Do you see that often in the text, like describing God that way?
Not really. It's usually more, God being all-powerful.
Yeah.
Distant, maybe?
Yeah, okay.
But here, he's really affected. He even regrets making humans. Makes you realize how bad things were. Like, seriously bad.
Okay, so we have this world in chaos, and then there's Noah. It says he found grace in the eyes of the Lord.
Right, the total opposite of everyone else.
What made him different?
Well, the text says he was just and perfect in his generations.
Perfect.
Yeah, think about it. Everyone else is consumed by evil.
Right.
And Noah is this beacon of righteousness standing out.
And it says he walked with God.
Yeah, that's a powerful phrase.
It's more than just like being a good person.
Right, definitely. It's like being close to God, always talking to him, walking alongside him.
Wow, okay.
And because of that, God makes a covenant with him, promises to save Noah and his whole family.
Okay.
It shows that even when everything looks lost, grace can still win out.
All right. And then we get to the ark. I always pictured it as, a big boat. But our commentary here compares its size to half of St. Paul's Cathedral.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, half.
That's huge.
I know. And the text is super specific about building it.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Gopher wood.
Oh.
Exact dimensions. 3 stories high. Like a blueprint almost.
Wow. So specific.
But there's one detail that always gets me.
What's that?
The window.
The window.
It says there's only one window in this whole massive structure. Why just one?
Yeah. That one little detail has caused a lot of debate.
What do people think?
Some say it was practical, like for ventilation or light.
Makes sense.
Others see it as symbolic, God focusing only on Noah and his family.
I see, yeah.
It's amazing how even something small like that can spark so many different interpretations.
Okay, so now comes the crazy part. Filling the ark.
Oh, yeah, all those animals.
God tells Noah to bring 2 of everything.
Right, male and female.
Male and female, of every living thing. Logistically, that's mind-blowing.
It's a monumental task, that's for sure.
I can't even imagine trying to round up all those animals.
It wasn't just about saving himself, though, or his family.
No.
It was preserving life, every kind. Fowls, cattle, and creeping things. It had to be all-encompassing.
They needed to bring food, too, right?
Yeah, for everyone. Noah's family and all the animals.
That's not a quick grocery run.
You're telling me so much preparation, planning. But at its core, it's about obedience.
Obedience.
Noah just does it. He trusts God, follows his instructions.
Imagine the faith it took.
Especially when everyone else thought he was nuts.
It makes you think, what does it really mean to believe in something, even when it seems impossible?
Absolutely. And that unwavering faith with everything coming down around him, that's a major theme that keeps coming up in this story.
It's just the beginning, and already there's so much to think about.
Oh, yeah. And I think the flood itself brings even more interesting questions to the table.
Okay, so we left off with everyone safe inside. Noah, his family, all those animals.
Whole cactin.
And then, boom, the flood.
The way they describe it is wild, right?
It's intense.
It's not just rain, either. It says, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up and the windows of heaven were opened. Like, whoa!
The whole world flipped upside down.
Yeah, exactly.
What about that number? 40.
40.
It rained 40 days and 40 nights. And 40 pops up a lot in the Bible.
Oh, right.
Is there something to that?
Yeah, 40 often means like a time of testing or big change. Like the Israelites wandering the desert for 40 years.
Oh, right.
Or Jesus fasting in the wilderness, 40 days.
Okay, yeah.
So here it really emphasizes the complete destruction, wiping the slate clean.
It says the water covered even the highest mountains. I can't even imagine.
Like a baptism almost. washing away all the bad stuff.
Hmm.
We talked about God being sad earlier.
Yeah.
Here we see his judgment, but it's also creative. A fresh start.
The whole story has this stark contrast. Those inside the ark
Safe and sound.
and everyone outside. I mean, imagine being in that ark,
Yeah.
surrounded by all those animals, the storm raging outside.
Must have been terrifying, even knowing they were protected.
No kidding.
But even with all that chaos, there's hope underneath it all.
Yeah.
Like the ark itself is a symbol. Faith and obedience when everything else is doubt and disobedience.
Months, though, right? The ark floats for months.
Yeah.
What do you think that time was like for them?
Oh man, I think about the boredom. Being stuck together, taking care of all those animals.
Yeah.
It had to be exhausting, body and mind.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what they talked about.
Yeah.
How they held on to their faith with all that uncertainty.
Then finally, after 150 days,
Land.
the water starts going down.
It does.
The ark ends up on the mountains of Ararat. Turning point.
Definitely. Storm's over. Danger's past. New chapter.
But they're on a mountaintop.
In a whole new world.
Where do they even go from there?
Exactly.
Noah sends out a raven
Okay.
and then a dove
Yeah.
to see if there's dry land.
Right. Looking for signs of life.
And the dove comes back with
Don't tell me.
an olive branch.
Powerful.
It is, isn't it?
It's become this big symbol of peace, new beginnings. But in this story, it's even bigger, you know? Imagine seeing that little branch after months and months on the ark. Nothing but water everywhere.
Right.
It's a real physical sign. Like, the world is healing.
Feeding back to life.
Yeah.
And then finally, God tells them to leave the ark.
The moment they've been waiting for.
Noah, his family, all the animals. Time to start over, rebuild.
But it's not just surviving, is it?
No,
It's spiritual, too. God makes that covenant with Noah.
the promise.
Yeah. Never again will he flood the earth. Mercy, hope for humanity.
And that covenant gets this beautiful symbol,
What's that?
the rainbow.
Ah, yes.
Such a reminder, right?
Definitely. Like, even after the worst storms, there can be beauty,
Right.
hope, God's faithfulness, a brighter future.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that it comes after the storm, right? Not before. It's not a guarantee of safety, but a sign of hope.
After hardship.
Exactly. So the flood isn't just about destruction, right?
Yeah.
It's about hope, too. Renewal. God never giving up on us.
And it makes you wonder about how we treat the world, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. We'll get into that in part 3 when we look at what happens next.
Okay, so we've gone through the storm, the ark landing, that olive branch. Talk about hope.
It is.
But they step out into this new world.
Mm.
It's not exactly a paradise, is it?
No, not really. It's like a fresh start, but with this heavy weight from everything that happened.
Yeah, the world is clean, but you can't just forget what happened.
Exactly. And the text shows that starting over is tough, even for Noah.
Right. We always think about the ark, the flood, but there's more to the story.
Definitely.
God gives them like specific instructions for this new beginning, what to do now.
He blesses Noah and his sons, tells them to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth.
Big test.
Huge. Repopulate, rebuild, take back the world. But there's also something missing, you know?
Oh, like what?
There's no detailed plan this time. No instructions like for the ark.
Interesting.
It's like, okay, second chance. Figure it out yourselves this time.
We have this new covenant, right? No more destroying the world with a flood.
Right.
But people, human nature, it's not just magically gone, is it?
That's the thing. This story about Noah getting drunk
Yeah.
and what happens with his sons after, it's a reminder, you know,
Of what?
that even God's chosen people mess up.
They're not perfect.
They're human. They make mistakes, don't always live up to what's expected.
It adds another layer to the story.
Yeah, totally. It's
Yeah.
not just good guys versus bad guys.
Right.
It's about us being human, trying to be good, even after everything gets reset.
It's like that same cycle starts all over again, even with Noah's family. Conflict, division, like a preview of everything that comes next.
Noah's Ark isn't just about one event, you know?
Yeah.
It's about this relationship, God and humanity. All the good and all the bad.
So, big picture. What stands out to you? What can we learn from Noah's Ark?
I think it shows what happens when things get really bad, but it also shows that there's always hope for redemption.
There is.
It's a reminder that even when it's dark, grace can win. You can start over, and something beautiful can come from the destruction.
Powerful.
But it also makes you think, oh, what are we doing? Are we
Yeah.
building things up or making things worse?
I love that. Building things up. It's not just waiting to be rescued.
No, it's doing something, making a better world.
Right. And it's not just about saving ourselves either, is it?
Nope. Noah's Ark shows us it's about preserving everything, all life.
We're supposed to take care of creation.
Be kind, be fair, make the world reflect God's love.
Wow. We started thinking we knew this story,
Yeah.
but there's so much more to it.
When you really look closely, it's amazing how much is there.
What I find so interesting is how old this story is,
Right.
but it still means something today.
Absolutely. It's about our fears, our hopes, trying to find meaning when everything's crazy.
We wanted to learn from Noah's Ark,
We did.
but maybe it's more about the questions it makes us ask.
Maybe that's the whole point. Keep searching, keep asking, keep digging.
If Noah was here now, building his ark with everything going on in the world,
Would we believe him?
would we help him build a better future? That's for each of us to figure out. Thank you for going on this journey with us.
It's been great.
Until next time, keep diving deep.